Is it best to have a physical bank or online bank? I think it just depends on your business needs. Like, I think it just depends on your business needs. I'm trying to think, even if having a physical bank, most people don't go inside of banks anymore, and have like that old school like relationship with their banker where they remember their kids' names and birthdays and things like that. So I think it just depends on your business need. Like we have USAA and they don't have a physical branch here in Dallas. And then we have Truist. So that's like our main bank account. So I think it just so happens that they are local, but we've had USAA for a very, very long time. Oh, and Navy Federal, but Truist is our main bank. Any other questions? And like, for those that's like brand new, like, I don't want you guys to get too overwhelmed, with all of like the different accounts. Definitely check out the Profit First call. That one is actually inside of the course itself. I'm thinking about also moving it outside so it can be easily found, because sometimes people are not able to find like that class and the tax class, and there's another, the business formation class. But I mean, like, because of course I didn't start off like this. Like, it was one account and it was a personal account and I was just trying to get paid, right? But of course I want to teach to do this, because if you can do it right and you can set it up right the first time, then you don't have to worry about going back to make changes, right? And then for an LLC, if you live in an area to where like, your LLCs are expensive and it's not a part of the budget, then like don't pressure yourself to get that just now. Set aside some, a percentage of each, job that you get, so that way you can later get it. Now, of course, the sooner you can get it, the better, so that way you can start building up that relationship with your EIN. But if you're not, really making profits in the beginning either, like, it's okay if you have to wait a little bit. Now, if you picked out a super dope name though, because cleaning, and this is why some people will have like the longest cleaning names, because there are a lot of cleaning companies, right? And so a lot of these good, simple, easy names are already taken, right? So we have to like add these extra words and make it super, super long, because a lot of these names are taken. So now, if you do have a super dope name, definitely lock it in with your LLC, but don't feel forced to like get it immediately. But if you can, I always recommend it. Okay, I see a hand raised. Oh, I'll come back and answer that question for you. Oh, is that what your hand raised about the square footage in the per room?
And the level of cleanliness, because I don't do walkthroughs. So I'm trying to figure out how to price them without knowing how clean their house is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, of course. So what I was saying about like with the square footage per room is that like it could like I know, like, this is the reason why I purposely put square footage in, because like when I first started on Thumbtack and Google and almost Yelp too, I think they had that in the requirements of like different questions that they had, to where like when you got a Yelp lead or a Thumbtack lead, it would actually let you know the square footage of the home. Then they took that away, which I hate. But here in Texas, the reason why I super have to implement it is because one person could have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, right? And that 4-bedroom, 2-bath house could maybe be 1,800 square feet. And then somebody in another area could have the same 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. They can have a game room, they can have a game room, right? But this house is 2,400 square feet. because their rooms are bigger, their living rooms are bigger, their master bedrooms are bigger, their closets are bigger, their master bathroom is humongous, right? It's still 4-bedroom, 2-bath and a game room, still 4-bedroom, 2-bath and a game room. It's just the space is much more. So to me, I have the square footage as a catch-all. So that way I make sure that we're charging for the appropriate size of the home, also including the bedrooms and bathrooms or how many total rooms. So that's the specific reason why I always include the square footage. And then I totally understand what you're saying about like with the estimate. I know like a lot of people that's trying to transfer from like the solo cleaner to like a agency referral model, they have a hard time with not doing that estimate anymore because they want to make sure that they're charging based upon the condition of the home. So we have 3 settings, standard, deep cleaning, and heavy duty cleaning. Okay. Sometimes we can kind of gauge because they'll pick when they're booking, they'll pick standard cleaning, deep cleaning, right? Heavy duty cleaning. If they're on just Thumbtack or Yelp, of course, they're not going to see that heavy duty option, but you'll kind of be able to gauge if their house is like really bad, right? They'll drop hints and they'll say like, oh, because like they don't want to be embarrassed. They're trying to like, provide some excuses of why the house looks the way it does. And, so there's no judging, right? But they'll be like, oh yeah, I broke my leg and I've been in this wheelchair for the past 4 months and I haven't had a chance to like really clean it and I need help, right? Or, oh my God, like I've been super depressed. And these are real life excuses that are things that we've gotten told, right? Oh my God, I just been in a funk and I haven't cleaned my house in forever and I really need some help, right? Or, whatever the situation, I've seen it all. So when we're talking to them, I let them know that, okay, we'll go ahead and set it. So either I'll ask them for pictures. I'll ask them to send us pictures in. If I don't ask or they're not comfortable sending pictures, then I let them know like, okay, we'll be able to look at the house when we arrive, and if the house requires more attention, then we'll let you know at the time of the booking, and then we'll provide, and then it would be an upcharge, right? And the upcharge could be anywhere between $100 to $150. So that way we're kind of letting them know up front of what it would be, right? And then another thing that we do is we always let our cleaners know like, hey, if you guys ever arrive to a house that is like really bad or the condition is not matching what they booked, please don't start cleaning. Let us know, right? And then they'll call or text or even sometimes send pictures in and they'll let us know. And then at that time, that's when we will call the client or text the client and let them know like, hey, the cleaner has arrived and she informed us that, based upon what she's viewed, that the condition of the home will actually require X, Y, and Z. And it will cost X, Y, and Z more. Would you like us to continue with your house cleaning service, right? If they say yes, then at that time, I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and also text you as well to make sure that I get a written confirmation that you agree to pay X, Y, and D additional on top of your cost. And like I said, I'm getting that text so that way it'll help prevent from chargebacks. If they ever try to be like, they charged me more than what was initially agreed, I have that text. On that text, it'll say like, hey, Mr. Smith, thanks so much for this. Is just confirming that we are now going to be changing your house cleaning from a deep cleaning to a heavy duty, or from standard to a deep clean. And your additional fee is this amount of much money, and your total cost that'll come out of your bank will be this amount of much money. Can you please confirm with the reply of yes, this is correct, right? And I have that in place. So like those are like really like the only things that we have in place to prevent if a cleaner does arrive and the home is nasty. Now, if there's any like bodily fluids anywhere or fecal matter anywhere, or it's like roach infested, then we just don't do it. Okay. And then, yeah, you can charge them a cancellation fee of $50 or whatever your cancellation policy fee is. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that answered my question a lot. Or well, one a little add-on. Do they ever get
Yes.
offended if you're like, oh, it needs to be this is a heavy duty cleaning, or do they ever get offended when you change it?
I mean, look, they know, okay? They know their house is nasty, okay? And they try to get their house clean on the cheap. Now, of course, people will be like, that's why, like, if we can gauge what they're saying, we will let them know up front, like what the additional fee is. So that way they'll be like, they can already be like, okay, you know, I'm going to go ahead and pass. I don't really know the condition of the house, right? Y'all know that house is nasty. But of course, you'll get some people will be tripping over the price change, but I just let them know that, hey, like this is what we're going to be cleaning. It's going to take more time and attention. And, you know, I totally understand if you want to cancel, but we will be, processing the cancellation fee because this job that you informed us of is not accurate. And we could be at another job right now, but we're actually here at your house, you know, thinking we're cleaning your home. So, you know, people are people, and you can really never predict what somebody might say or do.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Do you know how should we pay ourselves? So you can pay. So like I said, I basically go off of that profit first model. To where like you can set like a set percentage, right? And it's all based upon your goal. In the beginning, I was super just invested in trying to get leads. So I was putting everything back into marketing. But like you can set your percentage goal, right? So let's say if you do the profit first strategy and you have all your percentages, right? 50% goes to your cleaners, right? 10% goes to your expenses, 10% go to your taxes, right? 40% is your leftover. So like if you want to do a 20% owner's draw, you know what I mean? So like you can set your own percentage of like how much you want to pay yourself. I just say that percentage is good because it helps you to stay consistent with that same like with consistent, like with the not with the same amount, because the amounts will fluctuate, right? So you don't want to say like, you know, $1,000 in the beginning, because you may have a week or a month that may not produce that consistently. Now, of course, when you can start producing consistent numbers and you want to be like, okay, this is our monthly income, I'm going to, you know, draw out 5K, 10K a month, then that's how much you draw out, right? But percentage is good to stay consistent with something when like you're still building. That's a good question to do a video on. Let me write that down. Okay. My app, oh, sorry. Let me scroll down. BA question, what is a good paying rate? So you can like already have a rate in mind, and that rate is going to it will depend on, you can have a rate in mind, right? But there's a couple of different variables, as in like what's their experience and their skill level. Because of course, the more they know, the more experience they have, the more they'll expect to get paid. And then also where they're from. So South America is kind of a little bit more expensive because their cost of living is expensive. Jamaica area, like the islands, that area is not as expensive. So you can do like a $3, $3.50, $4 rate. The Philippines, that's always a good price point as well. So like $3, $4, $5 an hour. But like I said, the more experience that they have, the more they'll expect to get paid. So, which is a good thing. Like, I mean, let's say you find a VA that has Google ad experience or Facebook ad experience, or, you know what I mean? Like, SEO experience, like that's a plus. So you're not going to mind paying them $7, $8 an hour if they could add more value to your business than just being able to manage the day-to-day. What can I do while I wait on my LLC to be finalized? Start hiring. Like if you can start hiring as soon as you're able, that'll help, because like you don't know how long that process might take. And then, we are like in the holiday season. So I would definitely say to start hiring. And I know people are always asking like, what do I do if they're waiting for me to get jobs? Like just being in open communication with them. Also be honest, let them know like, hey, I'm a new company here and XYZ, and I'm looking to bring on new people. So, as I'm building our cleaning staff, I'm also working on our marketing strategy. And it's, like just to stay open with them. Because I remember one time I had a VA working for me, and like she was just selling mad wolf tickets, y'all. I mean, I know that's like a super old school phrase. I said that to my kids the other day. They were like, what? But she was selling some major wolf tickets, y'all. She was like, oh, we're going to be able to get you 5 jobs a day. You'll be busy with consistent work. All the jobs are going to be high paying. We do them in the best area, and the houses are not going to be really dirty, like everything. I'm like, what? So then I had the cleaner, the cleaner asked the VA, like, hey, can I speak to the owner? So I'm like, okay, yes. So I spoke with her, and she was like, this is not what I was, promised and told. And I was like, well, what were you? I don't give any promises. What were you told? And she was like that, I would be getting, all these jobs and all these hype. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I talked to the VA. She's like, well, I was just trying to get you people. I'm like, that's not going to get me like the right type of cleaner that I want. You know what I mean? Like it ended up harming more than anything. I had to figure out who she told, like how many people she told this to. But just be as open and honest with them, because you are building. And I find that if you're open and honest with them, like they'll be loyal. Like I had like 3 cleaners that was with me for a very long time, like 3-4 years, until they, decided to open up their own. And when they did, I helped them as well. But yeah, just be open and honest, but start hiring while you're waiting for that. Okay. Ooh, seems like the later it gets, this cold is just kicking me. Any other questions as we wrap it up? I have a Spanish cleaner, and like any other questions, you guys go ahead and like drop them in the chat right now, and then we'll get ready to wrap this up. I have a Spanish cleaner that has been cleaning for a long time. She has her own business. Should I pay her? Like, should you bring her on if she only speaks Spanish? Do you speak Spanish? No. That one's always tough. Like we just hired a new team, and we were talking to one, and like she only speaks Spanish, but she cleans with a partner and they speak English, right? So it worked. The only thing I would say with not hiring somebody that can properly communicate with the client that's there, okay? And I'm in Texas, y'all. Even though it's the craziest thing. I mean, even though the border of Mexico is right there, right? I mean, even though Texas used to be in Mexico, right? Everybody just expects everybody to speak English, and they are very rude about it, especially in the areas that we service. So I would definitely recommend, if you hire somebody that is Spanish speaking, that they have a partner with them that can speak English, or she knows enough to be able to communicate with them. What is a description of an ideal potential cleaner? What is a description? Do you, description? I'm so sorry, Michelle. What, can you further elaborate on that for me? How do I join the Profit Club call? Oh, yes, I'm gonna send you a DM, not a DM. I don't, do they call that? Yeah, I will send you a DM in Circle, and then we can get you scheduled. I'm looking at my calendar. Maybe Thursday. Is that tomorrow? Yeah. Maybe if you have time Thursday morning, I have Thursday and Friday morning available, but I'll send you a message and we'll get that. We'll get that. Okay. She also speaks English. So yeah, I mean, as long as she speaks enough English to be able to communicate, that's the only thing that I'm worried about. The only thing. Like we had another hire, another like lead came in, and the person was had a speech impediment. No, not a speech impediment. She was deaf, you know, and she can read lips. She said, I can read lips, but I can't communicate back to them. And I really wanted to hire her, you guys, but I just know our clients, how our clients are, and I would feel bad to put her in an uncomfortable situation from a rude client. So I had to be honest with her. When you're looking to hire a cleaner, what is your ideal cleaner? Oh, my ideal cleaner. Okay. We should look, for example, someone who has experience, someone with experience, but maybe not a lot of supplies. Okay. So my ideal cleaner is a solo cleaner that has a minimum of 2 years. Like, I really don't want nobody less than 2 years. Like they even have their own business, so they know how this operates. That, you know, like they know how to make sure to clean everything. They know how to clean everything well within a good amount of time. They have their own supplies and equipment. I mean, like they're a G in this game. Like they don't just go to Target and buy normal cleaning products. Like they have the names, like they go to Home Depot and they buy the best products. They know what works for soap scum, they know what works for wax, they know what works for streaks on the microwave. I mean, like, they know the things because they have experience, because that kind of knowledge only comes with experience of like testing out products. And they don't buy these products because they're more expensive or more fancy. They buy these products because they know that it works and it ultimately saves time, right? Like, everybody has a glass shower door. If you're cleaning a glass shower door and it has super, super bad soap scum, like it could take somebody a very, very long time. But if you have the right product, you spray that bad boy on there and wipe that thing off, you done cut a whole 45, possibly to an hour off of your time by having the right product. So my ideal cleaner is like, that's my ideal cleaner, and her name is Jessie. It's like, like, have you ever had to do like that thing where you're creating that avatar? Like that's my avatar. That I've maybe had 3 cleaners like that, my whole maybe 4 cleaners like that, my whole duration of having my cleaning staff. There's some bad mama jammas because they like to clean too. Like they enjoy it. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a difference of people that do it because they have to do it. And there's a difference of people that like literally love doing it. And it shows in their work. It shows in their customer service. How to know what areas to service. For instance, you live in Dallas. Do you service the whole Dallas? No. So I like to service the suburb areas. So if you guys, if you are familiar with Dallas, I know Victoria is from Texas. I don't know what part of Texas. Victoria, what part of Texas you're from? I like to service like Plano, Allen, McKinney, Frisco area, right? Like those are my super sweet spots. They're all within a good like 20 minutes from each other, except maybe like deep Frisco. So that means a cleaner could go from a Plano house to a McKinney house, from an Allen house to a Frisco house without any like, dang, I got to drive all the way over there, right? And it's crazy because, sometimes I'll get really tempted to also, market or take clients in like newer areas that's building up. So like Prosper, Salina, but it's maybe like 45 minutes away from me. So I what I would do, I would just have to like literally just hire like a separate cleaning staff, like target them for that area, that live out in that area. So no, I don't service all of Dallas. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, and because sometimes you get this thing to where like, man, I want to just service everybody, right? But the thing is, like, if you're servicing everybody, then you're really not servicing nobody. Like, you don't have no good target to zone. I have a friend. Oh, you said off the 75? Oh, girl, yeah. I have a friend that is in business, and he serviced this area called Rockwall. Is it Rockwall or Rowlett? Rockwall. And it's a small area. He literally just covers that one area. Now, he may take a couple of little areas around it, but he carries that one area, and he's killing it. Okay. But like I said, that's the area that I like to service. And I go based upon household income and house price. And I just do research in that area. Like, I found I was doing some market research in that area, and I found an article that it said every household, well, the average majority of the residents in Frisco make 100K a year. Okay, like minimum, they make 100K a year. Like, that's like ding, 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 right? Because those are people that I know is going to have the funds to pay for my services, and they're not questioning for a discount. Like, if I'm talking to a client and they're asking for a discount, that's always like my tell sign. I'm like, this is not my ideal client, because my ideal client is not worried about price. They're worried about quality of service. So those are my key factors that I use when I'm trying to figure out like the right placement. I tried to do like actual Dallas, uptown Dallas, but it was full of like young people. They don't appreciate the service. They want fast and cheap, right? They didn't really want quality. They weren't looking for quality. So that's like how I pretty much know what area to service. And I look for growth, right? Frisco, they're putting a new golf club in there. They're building new buildings all over the place. So that means more people. They're building more houses and apartment complex and condos, right? I looked at, they just put a new developer bought 75 acres and are planning to put a whole new subdivision, multiplex houses. That's more people, right? That's more of my people. I want to be where my people are at. So I do research like that. So when I'm being like, you guys do market research on the area you want to put your company, that's what I mean. Like, you want to check for the growth. You want to check for the house prices. You want to check for the quality of the house prices. There are a lot of foreclosures in there, right? So if there's a lot of foreclosures in that subdivision, in that area that I want to service, and that means like they can't afford to pay their mortgage. And I'm not, y'all know where I came from. I'm not down at anybody in their bad decision, but for business sake, right? Business is business. I don't get emotional with business. It's right. So I want to make sure that I put my business in the place where it can thrive. Last question. How do you do background checks on another cleaning company when you're hiring from another cleaning company? So like you're saying, like, so I just do it on the individual. So like I worked with situation with the person before, and like they had 3 cleaners under them, right? So I just get their names and I just run background checks on those people, because once before I had, I work with people like that, right? And I've had 2 kind of bad situations. One to where I didn't even know they were sending other people. And then one where I did, but I didn't know the people's names. And what was happening was they would go and clean a house and they wouldn't even know the name of the company that they're representing. And then the client will call us and be like, who is this person that you sent here? Like, they don't even know what kind of cleaning I want. They don't even know nothing. So even when I work with other companies that send other people, I need to know their name. They need to be in Booking Koala. I still need to be able to directly communicate with them, or that person has to be so good of a communicator. If I'm talking to them, you are providing that information to that, but I don't even like that. Like we need to be able to be in communication with that person, because of just the type of, just because of the experience, right? You know, maybe it's trauma, I don't care, just the experience. Like, I don't never want to be in a situation like that. Before, like, we had a situation to where a cleaner brought a friend with her, because we don't allow that either. Now, I'm not saying we don't allow them to do that, but if they do that, we need to know who they're cleaning. Like, hey, if you ever want to send a team, we need to know who they are, put them on Booking Koala, and provide a background check. Because we had a cleaner brought a friend to clean with them. Now, the situation did not happen how the client was accusing them, but the client accused the cleaner, the person that came with the cleaner, of stealing medicine. Okay. And this is medicine that's technically classified as narcotics, right? So, like, you know, the client wanted to call the police, and I mean, it was a really ugly situation. And he was saying, like, you know, they're probably selling it for street value. I'm like, sir, how do you know what street value? It's like, get out of yourself, right? And he ended up finding it because he hid it from the cleaners. And then, you know, this fool forgot where he hid it from. But like, that was a whole situation, right? So when the police call was trying to get the report, I didn't even know who the person was. I didn't know the name. I didn't know where to send them. Now, luckily, because the situation occurred not like how it was, when I called my cleaner, I was able to communicate with her and get the person's information, right? And she was like, I mean, you can have the police contact me, because I know we absolutely did not do that. And they did, and we handled it, and it was good. But let's say, you know, it didn't. I don't even know the person. I didn't know the person's name or anything about that person. And that looks bad on my company. So that was an error that we made that was bad. So that's why we put those things in place to make sure, like, that don't happen again. Okay, please, I need help with this. Since I have a lot to pay to change the address and phone number, should I just register another name, but make the current business name and make it like an umbrella business? Sorry, I'm like trying to think. I mean, you could, but if you're not trying to make that LLC fundable, I'm like, because like what happens when you make a company an umbrella company, right, is you end up having to put, like, when you're filling out your LLC information, right, you end up having to put it's also managed or owned by an entity. And then when you put the entity is the other business, is the other LLC, right? So if somebody is searching your LLC and they see the managing members, and one of the managing members is an entity, and they see the entity name, then they could also search for that entity name and get the access and get the information of that LLC, which is public records, and then they'll be able to see the other information on there. You know what I mean? So now, if you want it to be like you're just going to just put that away for right now and create a new LLC and deal with that, and make those corrections later, then you can, I may advise that than trying to make it an umbrella company, because you would still have the same scenario, unless you made those changes. So me personally, I would, if I was in that thing and I didn't want to have to pay for all of those changes, because I have an LLC. I have an LLC from another, it was going to be Dallas Moving Maids. I like starting companies. So like I have like another side business to where I'll start a small cleaning company and I get it all set up, and I'll get a couple of cleaners, like not like full, and then I'll sell it. So I was trying to test out a moving, like moving and move out cleanings, right? I was trying to test out like just a cleaning company that only did move in and move out cleanings, right? And we would still go about our same follow-up sequence to get reoccurring clients from that, but we would funnel them to a sister company, to like the main cleaning company, and they would become clients of that. But I was trying, because like we get so, we used to get so many move in and move out jobs. I'm like, shoot, I should just like market this only as a move in and move out cleaning company, partner with junk removal companies, partner with real estate agents, partner with moving companies, and provide only move in and move out cleanings. And the best part about that is that most of those jobs can be done anytime throughout the day, because they have to be out, but they leave the home unlocked, we'll go clean it. We can do a lot of those throughout the day, right? And so like when I bought that LLC and domain and all the things, I did it completely wrong. So that company is on the shelf until I make those changes, and then I'll like pick it back up and like do the thing. So yeah, so I would probably recommend shelving it and getting another LLC. But it depends on like, what the changes are. So is it 3 things? So that's 450. So if you do get another LLC, you're saving $150 from making that one additional change. So then you have to ask yourself, like, is the $150 worth saving from making that additional amendment change? Okay. This has been a really good call. I hope this has been some good information. Yeah, this has been some really, really good, like, like different type of questions. I love this. This was a really good Q&A. So if you guys don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Remember, you guys, we do have that. I'm going to make it like an official announcement in the group, but we will have that planning meeting on the 22nd. We will not be meeting on, not the 22nd, my bad, y'all, on the 29th. And then we will not be meeting on the 27th. So the next time I see you guys will be on the 29th. So I hope you guys all have a very, very good Merry Christmas, and enjoy your guys' time with your families, and all the things. Let's see, is it possible to hire a cleaner if they still a client? I don't really worry about that, because I just don't, because I feel like if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So it's possible. I feel like if they do it, I'm going to find out and I'll just fire them at that time when I find out. Yeah. So that's just me, because I feel like if they're gonna have that intention of doing that, then they're gonna do it regardless. And I'll just let them go when I find, when I do, because I pay well, I find the right clients, I put them in the right type of situations. My cleaners are happy to, like, they don't want to steal, because they know that I can provide more work than them just stealing that one client. Let me see. I saw 2 more. Okay, I'm going to answer these last 2 questions on here. When you hire cleaners, are they allowed to do another cleaning That's not, yes. So with, you know, with the 1099, because they are a contractor, they could have their own cleaning business. They can still have their own side clients. I just always ask them to communicate with us if they ever need to make changes. Now, I will let them know, like if I get like last minute cancellation because I find out it's for them to service their clients, then I do let them go, or I won't make them a priority for us providing assignments to them. And I let them know, like, hey, no hard feelings. I know you have a business, but hey, I have a business too. And I don't want to make changes, last minute changes, because you're trying to service your clients. We'll just make sure that, you know, you won't be on high priority list. And if we get jobs, we'll let you know. And, you know, yeah, we'll assign it that way. But yeah, I don't mind when they have, I don't mind when they have companies or work for them, or, you know, have like side clients. Yes, they could do their own jobs because they're, yeah. And like I said, technically they're independent contractors. So they can totally have their own jobs, their own business, like their whole setup. And like I said, I don't mind when they have other cleaners, because I like that, because that's like more padding for me, especially for like last minute cleaning jobs or cancellations. And like, I always be like, hey, you got somebody available to do this? And yeah, so it's like an ace in the hole. Okay. All right, you guys. Good night. Merry Christmas. I will see you guys on the 29th. And then of course, I'll be in the circle as well. Next week, I will be on vacation, so I won't be as present in circle, but I will still be there for you guys. All right. Have a good night, y'all.
You have a good Christmas as well.
Thank you. Same to you.